Hey everybody, welcome to our weekly video chat. I'm Jami Frankenberry.
And I'm Larry Rubama.
Well, Larry, we are in the heat of the playoffs. We only have 4 teams left after last week. Some really big, impressive performances last week. You know, in the 6A South region, we had Oscar Smith knock off Bayside 43-21. Sean Mitchell, we've talked about him a lot this season. He is now sitting atop the Virginia High School League passing leaderboard. What do you think about Sean Mitchell and what he did last week?
Well, first I got to say, I'm glad I didn't try to sell my house. I picked Bayside to upset Oscar Smith, and they definitely proved me wrong. I like the way that Oscar Smith is playing right now. I mean, you can't say enough about Sean Mitchell. He gets that team going. They get rolling. He's been there before, done it, and now he wants to have that state title, and that's what he wants, a state title or bust for him right now. I like the way they're playing. Defense has been strong all season. Now they got to keep it rolling.
Yeah, defense really played well last week against Bayside. They were harassing quarterback James Davis, forced him into 4 interceptions. He didn't have much time at all. He was under siege pretty much start to finish. And Sean Mitchell just doesn't make mistakes. He really is a steady influence. Woodside knocked off Grassfield. Grassfield's season is over. So that means Woodside against Oscar Smith. In the 5A South region, Norview with a big win over Salem. I know you saw that. What did you see out of Dario Mack Jr.?
Unbelievable. We've had a lot of great quarterbacks come through here, but he's, I think, by far the best dual threat. Not the best quarterback, but the best dual threat quarterback. He did it rushing. He did it passing. 176 yards rushing on like 9 attempts, 4 touchdowns. And they said they just started that for him last week. I think as he goes, and you got the great running backs as well, and the defense, I think they can go far.
Yeah, Mack has almost 1,000 yards rushing. He also has 2,400 yards passing, so he's been a real force. Hampton knocks off Indian River. I think Daz Newsome with a 2-point run. They go for the the winning 2-point conversion and win it. Ends Indian River season.
Very gutsy, and I feel sorry for those Indian River players. I mean, to be right there. I mean, they were battling with them over and over and over, and to lose like that, it's got to be hard. But it's a young team. They're gonna be back for the next 2 years for sure. A lot of sophomores on that team.
Yeah, that's right. It is a young team. In the 4A East, Lake Taylor rolls on. They get a little bit of revenge. The Titans playing really well. They lost to Heritage in the first game of the season, but they blew them out on Friday night.
Hank Sawyer, the coach at Lake Taylor, loves this time of the year. I mean, here it is, playoffs. This is what they love. They love this, and they're going for another state title again this year.
Yeah, Phoebus beats Norcom 34-0. Lakeland with a big win over Tab 42-28. So they will play on this week in the 3A East. But one game that we have to talk about, it's not a playoff game, was kind of billed as a bowl game. Bishop Sullivan against IMG Academy. I know we didn't expect Bishop Sullivan to win, but I think, we a lot of people didn't. I think I recall a newspaper down in Florida thought the score would be 42-0. It was definitely closer than that. But what did you think of Bishop Sullivan's performance? They lose 16-6.
I was real impressed with them. You know, the questionable 4th down calls that Chris Scott made, but when you look at how they challenged them team, I mean, here's a team that's ranked number 2 in the country in every national poll, including USA Today, Amex Preps, and they came out there and dominated for 3 quarters. For 3 quarters, Bishop Sullivan looked like, wow, this is the program that we were hoping to see all season long, and we got to see it. I mean, great crowd out there. I think they definitely put their name out there for sure.
Yeah, I think that meant a lot. I mean, they didn't win, and Coach Scott said afterward to his team, I'm not into moral victories, but he had to be happy with the way they played. I mean, they dominated line of scrimmage against a team that was bigger and supposedly better, has more Division I athletes. What do you think that means for Bishop Sullivan going forward now?
I know one thing that the quarterback, Tyler DeSue, said is, if people see us play like that, maybe more people want to come there. So we'll see what happens. I mean, right now, they got a lot of guys coming back, including Jake Little, tough little running back and linebacker for them, as well as Dante Burke, defensive end. And then you also got Taraji Mitchie, one of the best linebackers in the country, the best one in his class. They're going to be good again next year. So this could be great for their program. Now they got to find some other good teams to play, and then I think that will help out the program as well.
Yeah, you mentioned those 4th down calls. I'm not sure if Chris Scott would say he regretted those, but they definitely turned the game and the momentum. You never know what's going to happen, but they were costly against IMG. So let's get to this week. Some big playoff games. We talked about Woodside at Oscar Smith. Woodside is going to run the ball, and then they're going to run the ball some more, Larry. What do you think Oscar Smith has to do to win that game?
Oscar Smith's defense, they're going to be ready. Dimitri Banks is the running back over at Woodside. You know that they're going to be ready for this. They were ready for Bayside and everything they did. 4 interceptions last week for Oscar Smith against Bayside. I think they're going to be doing the same thing. They're going to be ready for that. They know what's going to happen. It was good to see D'Angelo White had a good game as well. He had 100 yards rushing, 124 yards to be exact. And Khalid Perry, he does it on offense, defense, special teams. This is their time of the season. Oscar Smith is known for, and they're going to make a run for it again.
Yeah, I think it's hard enough to beat Oscar Smith in the playoffs, but you really have to have a little bit of variety. So that's the key for Woodside, I think, in that game. The 5A South, a big game again over in Hampton. Norview at Hampton. Larry, I don't know if anybody's playing as well as the Pilots right now. So what do you think of this matchup?
I like Norview. The one thing that they said as they were sitting there and listening to find out who they're going to play, the Hampton game was ending, and they said, "Okay, we're ready with this. All they have is Daz Newsom. So they're going to be ready for him. They're going to be trying to get Daz left, get Daz right, get Daz in the middle. They're going to be ready for Daz. And then, of course, not only do you have to try to stop the dual threat quarterback, but you also got to try to stop Kevin Marks. Great running back who also runs for 100 yards. They're going to be tough to beat.
Yeah, Norview's offense is definitely a handful. Daz Newsom's headed to Maryland, I think, he's going to be a tough guy to stop. We'll see if Norview's up to the challenge. But, yeah, I agree. I think Norview's going to win that game. 4A East, Lake Taylor, maybe I think the best game this week. It's up in Dinwiddie, up in the hinterlands. It's a long way. It's a dark road to go by. I was there 2 years ago. And, Dinwiddie's undefeated, and we're going to see a little bit of a contrast. I think Lake Taylor's going to run the ball. Dinwiddie's going to throw the ball a little bit more. What do you think of that matchup?
Defense has to step up for Lake Taylor. They've been there before. They've done it before. They got to keep I believe it's the horse that runs back and forth on touchdowns.
Yeah, they got a cannon. They got a horse. They got all kinds of stuff.
If Lake Taylor can punch them in the mouth early, I think they can win this game, but they can't have any errors, no penalties, no fumbles, interceptions. They got to play very good ball. If they do that, I think they can come away with the victory. Yeah,
that interesting matchup they've met 2 previous times in the last 3 seasons. The winner of that game went on to win the state title. They split that. Lake Taylor won the state title in 2014 after beating Dinwiddie. Now on the 3A East, that game, Lakeland is over at Phoebus in Hampton. Darling Stadium. That's on Saturday. The Phantoms, you know how good they always are. Right. What do you think of that matchup?
Well, I was looking at last week's game against Norcom. And I know Norcom is not Lakeland, but Norcom only had 4 first downs the whole game and only 38 total yards. It's going to be up to DeMontre Military. He's got to be able to keep running the ball. And when I went out there and talked to him earlier this week, he talked about his line: Chase Bell, Riley Richardson, Garrett Whitley, Aaron Britt, and Benjamin Leonard. He says it doesn't get done without them. If they can control the line up front, and Military can get off like he's been doing all season, I think they have a chance. But right now, because Phoebus has experience, they've been there before, they've done it before, this is new ground for Lakeland. They've never been this far in the playoffs. So this would be a great test for them. If the line can block, Military can run, they can give Phoebus a chance.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how they do. So 4 games this week. Don't forget to join us Friday night for our scoreboard and live updates on Twitter, at 757Teams on Twitter, 757teams.com online, and we'll see you at the games.